Yeah. First of all, where are you now, and what's your plans today?
I just got home actually. I we try to do a family vacation every year to just make sure that we have time that is ours, no work, no anything. We get to hang out with each other. So we just got back from a week in Hawaii actually, which the kids have never been to, and we had a blast. So literally got in late last night. The dogs got 6 this morning, and I kind of hit the ground like hauling ass. So I was just like, but today I'm actually really excited because after I finish these interviews with you, and I think I have one more after this, I'm going to the studio to start recording a score for my first score for a movie that I'm involved with, and I can't tell you which one it is. But I'm really.
Come on. If you say A, you have to say B.
I've been sworn to secrecy, and actually saying more than I could. But it's not a massive movie, but it's a movie that I was involved with, that I was able to be in, and I'm really excited because it's going to be my first time scoring a movie. So I'm really excited, dude.
Wow.
Something I've wanted to do for a long time, and I'm really excited to get down to it.
Well, congratulations! You're definitely gonna nail it. Trust me.
I hope, man. Yeah. We'll see.
So, I just have to say this. I mean, we're talking about the multi-talent, a singer, Slipknot, Stone Sour, lots of platinum, gold records, Billboard hits, and everything. Solo career, and this is the second album. It's called CMF2. How much time do you have? I mean, do you have more than 24 hours a day, or I mean, and now you're telling me you've just been on vacation with the family and everything, 3 bands, movies. Please explain it to me.
Kidding me? If I didn't make myself take a vacation, I would work myself into the ground, for Christ's sakes. I mean, I love doing what I do. I've always, my one concern in life has always been writing songs and making music. Everything else professionally is secondary. The performance, to me, it's all about the creation, and watching people hear that stuff for the first time, or get so into it that they want to hear it multiple times. Besides being with my family, it's the one thing that gives me pure satisfaction is writing music and making music. When I'm on stage, it's a wholly different vibe, but it's not the same. Like you can chase that as much as you want, but it's not the same as trying to get to the ultimate recording, the ultimate song, the ultimate lyric, the ultimate performance on record, So it's
okay.
That to me, that's what keeps me going. That's the one thing that drives me to keep going is
so you're more excited about going into the studio than going on a world tour.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because at the end of the night, after I'm done recording, I can go home. I've reached an age, because touring is a young man's game, dude. It really is, and I'm not going to make any illusions about the fact that I'm older now. I'm very, very
well. I mean, that's good. I mean, on the other hand, if you didn't get older, it would suck.
Well, there's that, but at the same time, my priorities have definitely changed. Obviously, I want to spend more time with my family. I want to spend more time in a place that I've worked tirelessly to make home. And me all the time. It's getting to the point where we don't know. We can't tour that way anymore. It's not that we don't love playing live. It's just that because of the way that heavy metal is consumed or you listen to and whatnot, we don't necessarily make a lot of money unless we go on the road, and sadly, the whole thing that we're trying to make money to take care of in the first place, so it's tough. It's a horrible catch-22 sometimes, especially at our age. But at the same time, we're very fortunate that we still have an audience out there who wants to see us live, so it's
a huge audience.
It's you have to take the good with the bad and do what you can with what you got.
Nothing matters, all I want is you. Just say, leave me alive. Just stay, I'm ready to die. Give me everything I never could have.
And you mentioned it, you're talking about age. I mean, you're turning 50 this year, 8th of December, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's amazing, of course. But is that something did you think about, or is it just a number for you?
I mean, it depends on it depends on how early in the morning I think about it, because they're definitely times I get up and I'm like, oh God.
You're making these sounds when you're not trying to get up from the sofa. Okay. I know it. I'm almost there as well, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like, oh Christ, where did that come from? So yes and no. I try to take very good care of myself. I work out. I try to eat well. I don't always succeed, but I try to eat well. I try to stay as healthy as possible, because not just because of what I do, but because I want to spend as much time on this planet with my family as possible, So there are definitely days where 50 feels like a number. And then there are days where 50 feels like, how am I only 50? And I feel like shit, like it's to get you, man. Like I did some serious damage to myself when I was younger, and I'm kind of paying for it now, but I'm also maneuvering and just kind of, you just kind of have to take it as you go and just be like, all right, well, this is life,
Yeah. Well, I totally get it. So we have to get back to CMF2, because what I've heard so far, and this is the really, really, really good, part about being the radio station and YouTube channel. You get to hear it before everybody else does it. I mean, of course, you've heard it a lot of times, but it sounds amazing. So congratulations again on a smashing album.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. We worked hard on it.
Well, I can hear that. I mean, for us, I'm talking about, you had this single Black Eyes Blue from the last album. We still play the shit out of it on the radio station. We love it. And this one, and also CMFT Must Be Stopped. It's also super cool singer from the last album. Yeah, I love it. But which song or which songs will be Billboard #1 on this album?
Oh man, Jesus. That's a good question. I mean, Beyond is really doing well at radio States.
Yeah, it does.
It's at number 9 right now. It's looking like it's going to climb another spot to number 8. So it's, to me, it's always been about the long journey, not the sprint, So I love the fact that, the song's been out for 2 months and it's still climbing, like it's gaining momentum and people love to hear it, But there are some other songs on the album that I think people are really going to get into. Obviously, Post-Traumatic Blues, it gets some play.
Love it.
But there's songs like We Are the Rest is a song that the label's really thinking about releasing.
Another stakes as one. Common shit satisfying all the minions. Choking on yourself like a water god. You better shift when the brothers set the riff with a 1, 2, 1 down the
Midnight, I think, could be really, really cool. It's got a dark, different vibe than people are used to with this. And even a song like Sorry Me, which is very, very melancholy. It's just me and a guitar and these haunting elements in the top. I just think it's something that, there's so many possibilities on this album that the sky is kind of the limit, and when you have something like that, it's exciting. It gets you excited for the future,
Yeah. Well, I can already see at least 4 or 5 songs that's going to be, songs it's going to be huge. It's going to be big ones, even on radio, of course, as well. So for me, I'm very satisfied. Trust me, I'm more than satisfied. But talking about, as you mentioned, post-traumatic PTSD, is this something that you are aware of in some kind of way? You have a foundation, right?
Yeah. I have a charity foundation called the Taylor Foundation that money for groups who are helping people with PTSD. We started out kind of focusing on ex-military, ex-law enforcement or current law enforcement, and people who work in emergency services and their families. And it's really expanded to help a lot of people who are dealing with PTSD in a lot of ways, and I've specifically tried to concentrate on local groups who are working in their community, because I feel like the national groups get a lot of the coverage and their frequency is definitely, amplified. So people know about them. So in a way, it kind of drowns out the frequency of the local places. And that's where I wanted to make sure that I concentrated on was the places in, people's communities where they could go to look for, because that brings people together, and it shows that they're not the only ones dealing with it. They're not the only ones who are suffering, they don't have to suffer in silence, And it's something that's near and dear to my heart, obviously, because I deal with it from my past. It's something that my grandfather dealt with coming out of the Korean War, and it affected my family. It affected my grandmother's and my grandfather's marriage, to the fact, to the point where they divorced shortly after we got home. And it's something that I vehemently want to try and help families come together and stay together, and just understand that people aren't alone, So and that song, it was definitely a way for me to try and, convey a message of what it's like sometimes to deal with the numbness that comes with the depression of traumatic stress disorder. So it's something I'm very, very passionate about.
It's amazing. Keep on doing this because it helps a lot of people. Trust me. And being this kind of idol for so many people, I think you're really doing a super job.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and in that song, you sing another in a line of heroes with nothing to fear. So we're talking about heroes. Who's your hero in life?
Oh man. I mean, it all depends on, the point of view. I mean, I obviously have musical heroes. I have heroes in my family. There are heroes I have just in my life. I guess the one hero that I had in my life who never changed was my grandmother, Thelma Taylor, who I lost a few years ago.
Sorry.
Well, she had a good run, man. She was 94, and
that's great.
Yeah, man. She, and she was really the anchor for me because my life was pretty fucked up. Let's put it that way. And, if I hadn't had her in my life as a source of stability and love, I would have been so far gone. Like it's not even. So she was my hero. She was an inspiration. She was a woman who worked tirelessly She quietly loved her family more than anything else on the planet. She had that stoicism that came with the older generation, but she also knew when to reach out for help, you know, and that was something that I learned, you know, like I learned to never let self-respect keep me away from asking someone to give me a hand, you know. And
amazing.
Coming from the Midwest, you know, that's not an easy lesson. You know, we're very young age to suck it up, to fight through those feelings that you don't need help. You just get on with it, you know. And for me, you know, having my grandmother, who was the strongest person in my life, really show me that you could ask for help. I think that was massive, you know, and that's one of the things that helped me, you know, carry on with my work with the Taylor Foundation, is to encourage that, you know. So that's, you know, so she's definitely the hero that I miss, and the hero that I'm glad I had.
Well, let's send lots of thoughts to Thelma then. Definitely. I'm going to wrap this up with looking forward, which all of our listeners and viewers will be as well, for September 15th, the album CMF2. Last question. CMFT, is that a nickname of yours from like high school, or is it something I read or dreamed about? I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, it's my friends in high school, the friends that I did have anyway, they would call me CT, and then it turned into C motherfucking T, you know. And
okay,
time to make my album, I was like, you know what, we're just gonna bring that back. You know, that's a good
amazing
thing, you know. And honestly, some of the guys in Slipknot were calling me that for years, you know, like without even knowing them in high school. They just, you know, Mick actually was the one who's like, you know, Corey Turds Taylor, CMFT, you know, like it was, you know, it was awesome, you know. So
when I see you backstage sometime after a Slipknot concert, I will go like, "Hi, CMFT, how's it going?"
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
You know, yeah, it works.
Yeah. Well, thanks for taking time. It's always an honor talking to you. You're amazing. And this album, we look forward to hear the rest of it. I've heard it, so I know what's coming up. The single's already out, but congratulations again on the smashing album.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
And hope you enjoy your time with the family as well. And see you when you're back in Sweden.
Absolutely, man. Thank you, brother.
Okay. Cheers, man.
Bye.
Cheers.